All right, ladies and gents, we are going to be solving one-step equations. So in front of you, you have your notebook. You've labeled it up at the top, solving one-step equations, and you're going to fill in your notes there. So if possible, the first thing you want to do is combine your like terms. So we're going to go ahead and write that down so that we don't forget it. If possible, always combine your like terms first. That's always the first thing you want to do. And I'm going to underline that in another color just so I don't forget. So we're going to start easy. The inverse of addition. Remember, inverse is just a fancy word for the opposite. The inverse of addition is subtraction. So in our first problem, x plus 4 and 5/10 equals 15. We're trying to get our x over here all by itself. So we need to do the opposite of this, which means we're going to subtract 4.5. If we do it on one side of the equal sign, we're going to go ahead and do it on the other side of the equal sign as well. These are going to cancel out. And then I'll have x all alone. 15 minus 4.5 is 10.5. X is all by itself. Done. I can circle my answer and I'm good to go. The next one, the inverse of subtraction. The inverse of subtraction is addition. So the inverse of subtraction is addition. So in this next problem, it starts as negative 10.4 is equal to g minus 6.3. And again, I'm trying to get my variable, my g, all alone. So on the same side as my g is a negative 6.3. I'm going to go ahead and add that to both sides of my equal sign. Once I do that, negative 6.3 plus 6.3 cancels out. I now have g all alone, which is my goal. Negative 10.4 plus 6.3 is going to be a negative 4.1. And since g is all alone now, I can go ahead and circle that, and I've already solved my second problem. So we've done half of them now. We're going to move on to multiplication. The inverse of multiplication is division. Woo! So in the problem we're doing together, negative 4y is equal to 18. I'm trying to get this y up here all alone. So since they're right next to each other, remember that means multiplication. So I'm going to divide both sides by a negative 4. Negative 4 divided by negative 4 will just be a 1. So y is now all by itself, 1y. And 18 divided by negative 4 is going to be negative 4.5, or negative 4.5. And since now my y is all alone, I am finished. I can circle my answer and go to the next one. Your last type of one-step equations would be your division ones. the inverse of division, is multiplication. Remember, inverse again just means the opposite. Inverse again just means the opposite. Hopefully not too far down. There you go, now it's a little easier to see. Problem on this one is negative 12 is equal to k over 3. You can see division written a couple different ways, just how I wrote it in the first way. You can also see it using that division sign. Negative 12 equals k divided by 3. Either way, still means the same thing. We're going to put our line down, our equal sign, to kind of keep our work organized. Trying to get our k by itself. The opposite of dividing is multiplying. So I'm going to multiply both sides by a positive 3. I'll show my work over here, even though it's the exact same thing. K is now alone. K over 3 multiplied by 3 is just k. Negative 12 times 3 is a negative 36. Since k is the only thing left over here, I am finished. Same thing over here. Again, it just looked differently, so I wrote it out twice. And those are our 4 different types of problems. Okay, so don't forget your inverse, all that is asking is for the opposite, so the opposite of each of the operations. There's a couple problems to try on your own, and we will look at those next. Let me flip my page. First one is g minus 1.7 is equal to a negative 0.9. G minus 1.7 is equal to a negative 0.9. I'm going to put my line down my equal sign. Trying to get g all alone. Since there is a minus sign afterwards, I'm going to do the opposite of that. Opposite of subtraction is addition. So I'm going to add 1.7 to both sides. Negative 1.7 plus 1.7 cancels out. So g is equal to negative 0.9 plus 1.7, a positive 0.8. Perfect. Circle our answer, keep our work organized. Yes. The second one on this slide says negative 8 is equal to 5.6 plus z. Trying to get z all alone. So the only thing with it is a positive 5.6. Since my 5.6 is positive, I'm going to do the opposite of that. I'm going to turn it into a negative and subtract it from both sides. 5.6 minus 5.6 cancels out. I'm left with z all by itself. Negative 8 minus 5.6 more is a negative 13.6. Perfection. I'm going to do 2 more like this. Hopefully you've paused my video and have tried it on your own at your home or in the classroom, since we're watching in the classroom the first time. The next one is q plus a negative 12 equals 4. Q plus negative 12 is equal to 4. Again, line down my equal sign. I want to try to get your q all alone. The thing with my q is a negative 12. Since my number is a negative 12, I actually need to do the opposite of that, which is adding 12 to both sides. Negative 12 plus 12 cancels out. I'm left with q all alone. 4 plus 12 is 16. Last one on your own. Negative 8h is equal to 40. Again, start by putting that line down the equal sign, trying to get h by itself. The thing with h is a negative 8. Remember, since they're right next to each other, that means that they are being multiplied. So the opposite of multiplication is division. So we're going to divide by a negative 8. We're going to cancel it out, and h is equal to 40 divided by negative 8 is a negative 5. Alright, so that is our solving equations, solving one-step equations, and then we're going to try one word problem together, and then we're going to be done with our notes for today. Nope, we're not doing those. This one. A discounted concert ticket cost $14.50 less than the original price. Ooh, it's a little crooked. Than the original price P. You pay $53 for a discounted ticket. Write and solve an equation to find the original price. So the first thing I'm going to do is I wrote down that word problem in my notes so that I had something to refer back to. So now I'm going to go through and look at the important stuff. A discounted concert ticket cost $14.50 less than the original price P. So it cost $14.50 less than the original price P. You're paying $53 for a discounted ticket. I want you to write and solve an equation to find the original price. So in that last sentence, write and solve an equation to find the original price. That's the one that's telling you what your variable is. Let's see if I can make this bigger. Okay, so I'm looking for my original price, so that's what my variable is. P, remember, is the original price. That's what my goal is I'm trying to find. And I know that I paid $53 for a discounted ticket. So if I know that I paid $53 for a discounted ticket, I'm going to set my equation equal to 53. And then I'm going to go back up to that first sentence where it says a discounted ticket cost $14.50 less than the original price. So this word right here, this less than, indicates that I need to use subtraction. So I'm going to go ahead and take my P, my original price, whatever that was, subtract my discount of $14.50, and then I'm going to get the amount that I paid for my discounted ticket of $53. So now I have an equation. It looks just like my other equations that I already did today. So I can go ahead and solve that. Put my line down my equal sign. I'm trying to get P all alone. So I'm going to add $14.50 to both sides. Negative $14.50 plus $14.50 cancels out. And P is equal to 53 plus $14.50, $67.50. So the original price of the ticket, which remember was my ultimate goal to find, is $67.50. And just like that, we solved a word problem. And we solved a bunch of one-step equations.